What's the tallest dandelion you've ever seen?
The tallest dandelion I've ever seen?
Yeah.
What are you, a 12-year-old girl?
No.
Yeah, you
No.
are. I
What's
saw
the
the most
tallest
prettiest
dandelion? Okay,
dandelion.
so what? So
I
what?
don't know
like
inches,
a foot?
dude.
Like a
I
foot?
don't.
Okay.
If that, maybe.
Right now, I have a dandelion in my backyard,
Mm-hmm.
4 to 5 feet tall.
Hi, I'm Carl.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Charlie.
And this is episode 2 of Occasional Insight.
Yay.
Sweet. Hooray. You nailed it. That was
Yeah.
good.
Well done. Well done.
He's...
My first question I have to pose to you fine fellows is, what game or games do you currently play?
Like what? Like if I was...
If you were to sit down right now
if you
and
were
to
to
play a
hop into a
game,
game,
what would you be playing?
Like what games do you play on a regular basis?
Yes.
Kind of thing is what you're getting at.
Yeah,
Okay,
100%.
League of Legends and Minecraft, but League of Legends I don't play all of that much because I can't commit to a 45-minute game because it's ridiculous.
So it's mostly Minecraft?
Yeah, mostly Minecraft because like I have a family and kids and stuff to do. So Minecraft I could pick up for 10 minutes, put it down, and my progress will still be there, and I can go back to it later. Sometimes I have 2 hours to play, sometimes I have 10 minutes to play. Minecraft's always there. It's convenient. And I've been playing it for over a decade.
Minecraft?
Yeah, 100%.
So do you have like the same world or something?
No.
Do you have a world that you've been working on for years?
My girlfriend and I have a world that we've been working on for over a year, but no, I wouldn't say that like I have like a world that we've stuck with. We just find a group of people and like, hey, you want to start a server? And then I host a server for a while, and it works, it doesn't work. We normally end up playing a lot more than everybody else. So like we'll build this huge world. But I've had multiple things corrupt in the past. I've had to wipe computers where I've lost servers. Mojang actually hosted like their own realms. Those were cool, but expensive or relatively like if you can do it yourself for free, why would you pay somebody else to do it, kind of thing. So we gave up on that after a while too. But yeah, like over the years, we have had many, many long-term worlds, but it's not like one that I've had for... when did I start playing? Like
over a decade.
2009, 2008.
Oh, so you're like pushing on like a decade and a half.
Oh yeah, totally. Like it... I don't even think I paid $20 for Minecraft when I got it initially, and I have played it for like half my life.
So you bought it right off of that Notch guy?
Well, I don't think I actually bought it off of Notch. One of my friends got it in beta, and then when it was released, the rest of us bought it. I think I was in like first year, maybe second year of university.
True. Minecraft is pretty, I guess, nostalgic in a sense.
See, I do not. I completely disagree with that. Minecraft, because I've been playing it basically nonstop. Like I've never taken a break. I don't have. Well, I do. I do have fond memories of Minecraft, but it's ever changing. It's ever updating. So it's not. It doesn't trigger nostalgia as far as I'm concerned. Not for me, at least. For other people, yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Well, especially younger people too, some of their earliest gaming memories are probably Minecraft.
Yeah, people who are like 15 to 20 right now.
But like, is it still nostalgia if you still play the game?
No,
because like
it's nostalgia if you come back to it periodically.
It's the same game. Maybe it would be nostalgic if you played the version of Minecraft.
But that's not a possibility. Like I think someone going back to World of Warcraft Classic, who played World of Warcraft 20 years ago, or however the hell long it's been out now, and then they went back when they redid it, like when they put out Classic WoW, that would be nostalgia to an ongoing game that you may or may not still be playing.
Yeah, you can play on WoW private servers and go back and play Classic, and struggle to be a hunter with ammunition and stuff like that.
See, I had like
Not
a
my
bunch
cup of
of
tea, but yeah.
Minecraft
That's fair.
worlds from like 10 years ago that I
Never
had.
played
Well,
it.
maybe not 10 years ago, but I've had a lot of old worlds on my Minecraft
Mhm.
that I like built with people I knew back then, and that was nostalgic. Looking at the
Yeah,
worlds we built.
but like, so my understanding of nostalgia, and I might be wrong, but is like a longing to re-experience or revisit a specific time period. Minecraft doesn't do that for me because I have so much Minecraft memory, I guess. Like I've been there, I have taken breaks from Minecraft for sure, like stop playing for 6 months and go back to it, or stop playing for a year and go back to it for sure. But like I have been so invested in it for such a long period of time that there's no, I can't think of a specific period of time that I enjoyed the best or that I long to be revisiting. Whereas like I don't know, I can think of tons of N64 games, PS1 games, like that kind of thing where I'm like, oh yeah, that brings me back to my childhood. Whereas Minecraft brings me back to multiple parts of my life.
To potentially today.
Yeah, not today specifically, but like
potentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what about you, Charlie? What's a game that you would be playing right now if you could sit down and play anything?
So
Not,
if I could sit down and
no,
play
no, no, no.
anything,
What game would you
or
be playing today?
okay, but sorry, go on.
That's it. It's a very simple question.
If
If you
you
were to
had the
sit
time
down
to
on your
play a
Xbox or
game,
your computer
Well,
right now, or your phone, what
So
would you play?
okay, if I'm gonna turn my Xbox on, like right after this podcast, I'd probably honestly play Power Star Golf. That's how out of the loop I am. I'm gonna play Power
There's
Star
nothing wrong
Golf
with that, dude.
at like the free version
Yeah,
with
I know.
like 4 courses, like 4
Not even
holes.
courses. There's holes from courses.
Yeah.
He made me download it last week.
Do not knock free versions of games. As I said, League of Legends completely free. I mean, you can pay to look prettier, but completely free. And then Minecraft, I think I've spent maybe $15-$14 on that game, and I've had it for as many years. So yeah, but
$1 a year is pretty good value.
Yeah, exactly. I do not
pretty good
think
bang
you
for your
spend
buck.
$75 on a video game in order to enjoy it. There are tons of great free games. I played Clash of Clans for years. It was free, although you could pay to win or pay to speed up, I guess. Yeah, free games are the greatest. Some of the greatest games there are.
Absolutely. Well, gaming is more about fun, I think. And
no.
Okay, well, you say that, but like I've watched your streams. You play Call of Duty religiously. A lot of the time, you do not look like you are having fun.
Yes.
Maybe that's fun. Maybe you like.
No, it's not. I don't enjoy it. There's been lots of times where I've just wanted to hang it up and never played the fucking game again. I literally deleted it about a month ago and didn't play it for like 2 weeks.
So like,
it's a love-hate relationship. That's the problem.
So I've been through that stage with League of Legends for sure. Like League of Legends, if you're familiar, is probably the most toxic community out there, and I would say Call of Duty is probably a pretty close, maybe not second, but
you're looking at a guy that gets comp banned about every other week.
Yeah, exactly. So, like,
not proud of it, but it happens.
Why keep going back if you hate it so much? Like, do you want
to? It's the people.
Excel. It's the people.
It's the reason that I get angry. The funny part is, and this is the same in every game. I can play Pokemon and get mad at it, but it's not. I'm not mad at Pokemon. I'm mad at me because I fucked up. I don't. It's very strange. It's the same thing in Call of Duty. I don't expect to be the best at any game that I'm playing. I'm a fucking 40-some-year-old fat guy that doesn't exactly have the same muscle memory and reflexes anymore that I used to.
Wouldn't those be like the best ones?
What do you mean?
The 40-year-old who like.
Well, no, because a 20-year-old is their reaction time's 10 times faster than mine.
Mm.
Or they're
Really?
playing claw controls, and no, it's true.
Claw?
To
It's
an
different.
extent. Like
So the reason that but what I'm saying is that I get angry more often. So I get mad at the game if something fucks up. I will fully admit that. Majority of my anger usually comes out towards myself because I shouldn't have lost that gunfight. I shouldn't have fucked that up. I've been playing this game for 1,000 hours this year. Why the fuck am I this bad? It's
You're just
those.
like, you
It's me.
fucking piece of shit. You suck.
It's my
fucking
inner.
butt.
It's my inner
talking
voice.
to
Yeah,
yourself,
it's
and
literally
they're
my
like
inner voice.
banning
I'm
you.
angry as fuck at myself for.
You should send them a letter and just be like, hey, just like every
Well, the last time.
time
Okay, so here's a
you're
funny
gonna
story about
comp
Call of
ban me,
Duty. Here's a
it's
funny story
really
about Call of Duty.
me that I'm
I
talking to.
no, I got comms banned the last time. It's an AI. It's a bot. It goes through and listens for words. So if you say fuck, it doesn't care. If you say the derogatory F word for a homosexual, it really cares. Or whatever it
So
is. Or if you
what
say
if you say
cunt,
like,
it
oh,
hates
go to
that word.
France and get a
Cigarette in the UK.
baguette or something?
That's right.
And would it block you then?
If your audio sounded to the algorithm that you said the
There's
other
trigger
one.
words, basically. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what happened the last time is I was angry. So in Call of Duty, I don't know if you guys have played it or not. In Warzone specifically, there's like a character that like introduces you to the fight. And then when you die, it's like basically like almost like the narrator. His name's Greaves. I've played Warzone specifically for about 700 to 1,000 hours this year. Shut up. That's what
Is that
it
a
is.
lot?
No judgment.
Well, I don't know. It's a long time, man. A full-time job is like 1,800 hours a year. So, yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Oh
I'm running
shit.
full-time hours, bud. So,
You're
so I'm so tired of hearing it.
like a raise.
So when it would be nice. So when it so basically I've heard the same things like when you lose or you die or the same bullshit countless times. And there's one line specifically that just infuriates me now after hearing it for so long. Is it basically goes when you lose in the gulag. So basically, when you die in the game, you get to go to the gulag. You 1v1 somebody. If you win, you come back. If you lose, then your teammates have to buy you back. Or if everybody's dead, the game's fucking over. So one of the lines when you lose is "Wars for the Warriors. We're sending you home," or something like I can't remember the end part. But as soon as he says "Wars for the Warriors," I want to fucking put my fist. I'm angry now. Hearing
Just thinking about it.
just thinking about it pisses me off. So the last time I went in a
trigger.
slew, it is. I triggered. I lost my shit. I was angry. I'm in a private chat, so the only people who can hear me are my fucking teammates. I'm not even talking to the lobby. I'm only talking to my teammates, and I'm literally like, "Greaves, you," string of about 45 seconds of swear words. Offensive behavior. What?
Comms band.
Comms banned for 14 days. But the last comms banned was even more crazy. Because so comms banned usually means I can't talk to people. I can talk to I can talk to you guys. So if you're on my party, I can talk to you. No, in the game I mean. I can talk to you, I can't talk to the general public because I'm a fucking piece of shit.
So
I'm not allowed. I'm not civil enough.
Your friends list.
So I can talk to people in my friends list, or if you unmute me. I just come into the game and I'm auto muted. You can unmute me and talk to me if you want it.
Oh, that's
the
all
last
a
time
band is?
Until you get to a certain point.
Levels. Yeah.
So now I'm at the new point where as soon as I can talk in the pregame lobby. So when we're sitting before we load into the game, as soon as we load into the game, chat disabled. Not even you guys can hear me. I am not allowed to talk to anyone for 14 days. So that I literally had
another level where you can't even talk in the lobby.
Permaban. You can't talk at all.
Like ever.
And then they ban your account.
And then it's a account ban for. Well,
you're,
now it's
you're
not
on level 2.
Well, see, it starts out as offensive chat warning, and that's what gets you comms banned. Now it's a behavioral issue.
Oh, so you have behavior issues.
Yes, in Call of Duty.
It's called anger
according to Activision's AI algorithm.
It's called "Shut the fuck up, Tyler." That's what it's called.
Just saying.
No, that's fair. No, but it's actually, so all jokes aside, back to your initial question. So that's what happened. So basically I got comms banned. So I was basically teaching all my friends how Discord works. And now we basically just talk in Discord because fuck, I don't want to talk to strangers anyway. But
But
back
my
to the
question
initial
is, why do you
question,
keep going back? Like, why?
people. Because
People.
everybody that I play games with, so the thing too is like of those thousands, say I've played the Call of Duty 1,000 hours this year.
Mhm.
800 of those 1,000 hours are with the same four people.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
only
fair.
thing they play.
Yeah.
So if they play something else, then I could be free to go play something else, or I have to go make friends in a different community. And I'm talking like I've been playing now, especially since I started streaming. I don't have a very high following rate or like a lot of people, but like I game with dudes from Australia, like on the regular basis. I play with a
Mhm.
couple of dudes in varying parts of the states, Washington, Oklahoma. There's a couple dudes from Oklahoma I play with like fucking daily.
Mhm.
So if they don't play something else, then kind of got to keep
Yeah.
playing it.
Yep, for sure. So basically, you've built a community, and you're dedicated to your community. So
Pretty
even if you
much.
hate the
So
game that
like,
you're playing,
yeah.
you
So we
enjoy
started
company.
playing. So we started playing a new game that's free. It's actually pretty fun, called The First Descendant.
Mhm.
It's kind of like the best way to explain it is Destiny.
That's the Destiny ripoff, right?
Yeah, it's basically Destiny,
I got in trouble.
but it's like Warframe style.
Yeah.
I played Destiny, so
It's
okay.
fun. It's actually really fun. I enjoy it quite a bit. I mean, I've only played it for a day. Put in like 5 hours or whatever into it yesterday. So far, I
What's
mean, I don't know
Warframe?
how replayable it is. It's a third-person, over-the-shoulder action shooter.
Like, oh, okay, like Metal Gear Solid.
Kind of. Think like Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Think Gears of War, actually, is a
Gotcha,
perfect. The
gotcha.
Gears of War. That's
Resident
basically
Evil
it.
4 is better. I know that one. I haven't really
Okay,
played
well,
Gears of
it's
War
that
that much.
style, basically.
Gears of War was great.
I
Dude, the
have
best
it.
part of Gears of War, the literal best part of that game, is when you could download it onto your 360 hard drive, put in an audio CD. So my memories of playing Gears of War were literally playing the first Gears of War game while I listened to Slipknot Iowa album,
Mm.
while I fucking
Nice.
ran around and killed the fuck out of bugs.
Yeah,
It was the
for sure.
best.
Mm.
So that
Mm.
one, and
That's
also a few Slayer
that's the
albums.
stuff.
That was shit.
Yeah,
That was the
that's
shit,
the
dude. That
stuff.
game's so fucking fun. Because again, like being able to listen to your own audio was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said,
Because
man, yeah, like
Gears
running
of
around listening
War,
to Slipknot and killing fucking locusts was one of
So
my
like
favorite
when
moments.
you when you talk about a game like Gears of War, I think like that brings me back to a specific period of time.
I have
Yeah.
certain games in certain time frames that
Yeah.
are nostalgic, and
100%.
they hit a lot harder and different. So
Yeah.
on that same sort of line, speaking of kind of more of a nostalgic point of view, so are the games today? I know like Minecraft's a different one, but of the games that you would play on average today, are they the same as the games you would have played 10 or 15 years ago? Minecraft excluded because you've been playing that for half your life. It doesn't really count per se. But like,
Um,
has your gaming identity changed much?
no, I don't know. No, definitely not.
I've kind of jumped around, to be honest with you. Like I was very into the Halo franchise. Like I played Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, ODST, and then I played Halo Wars. I
Ooh, never
did a
dabbled.
little. No,
Not in
Halo
wars.
was like a
RTS, right?
RTS, a very very bad attempt at an RTS in my opinion. But although it was tons of fun, um, like as far as RTSs go, I played StarCraft, but most of StarCraft was for like oh, what was it called? Like Cat and Mouse and Sunken Defense and stuff like that. Like I didn't actually play the game itself. I played the
You
mini
played like
games
the
because
mini games and the
I was
modes.
awful at the game. Like I would do the turtle with the Protoss where you have like the cannons all the way around your
Yep.
base, but like every single person I ever played with in StarCraft beat me. I don't think I've ever won an actual game of StarCraft.
Well, StarCraft's like I want to say, and this might not be literally, but it feels like StarCraft is like the first esport.
I'm pretty sure.
The
Yeah,
first
for sure.
what?
Esport.
Yeah, yeah.
With,
Competitive
was it?
StarCraft was fucking
Insane.
huge.
Yeah,
Because
insane.
it's funny you say that because I don't think I've ever won a game of StarCraft either. But I
Huh.
killed it in Red Alert. Red Alert, I was really
Oh,
good.
buddy! Oh, I love that.
Dude,
I love Command and Conquer, buddy. Command and Conquer Red Alert.
dude, I was
So
really
good.
good. Like all the other RTS, like real time strat, like you're above and you click and you like
hmm Star
build
Trek
buildings and
Armada,
shit.
baby. I
Yeah,
love that
I
So
game.
I feel like those games are very formulaic.
Yes.
Like I have two
Age of
friends.
Mythologies are the best.
Yeah, I have two friends that were probably still are, to be honest with you. I haven't played with them on this game in a long time, but Age of Empires, they were very, very good, and they had like a specific system. You build this, then you build this, then you build this, then you build this, and you do it in this order, and they're this close to your base, and you build this one here and this one here, and so on and so forth. And as long as you stuck to the formula, you would win every single time.
It's all efficiency.
I
Granted,
could win any game Red Alert 1, any game. I could
yeah.
win. Yeah. Any
So
game.
like that's not the way my mind works gaming wise. Like I don't like a formula to win. So I've never really gone too far into the RTS world, and I was never good at it. But like played World of Warcraft for a while, more so on private servers because I'm against paying for games for the most part. I played Ark, played a lot of Ark. Um, yeah, Minecraft is probably the most committed I've ever been to a video game. And then League of Legends, I'm over 30 years old, and I still think one day that I will be master or challenger, although I highly doubt there's even a single 30-year-old plus that is master or challenger unless they're a full-time streamer.
I
I
still
can't
play
think of one off the
Battlefield
top of my head.
1942.
Do you still think that you will ever competitively be in the running to be the best at the video game? Like I came close at Halo 2, at least in North America, but since then, when I was a teenager, like that's as far as I've ever gone.
Young man's game, buddy.
I
You think it's
actually
a young
think
man's game? Because like
I
I'm
could
starting
become
to
the
think it
best at a
is.
game, I think. There's a game I play that I think if I like gave her, yeah, I could probably become the best. I bet.
No, I want to know what game it is. Tell me.
Battlefield 1943.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not 42, the good one, the fucking weird
Because
bastard one.
but that game is really like it's so there's no like you can't upgrade anything. It's very just like jump in, just there's you can't even pick up other people's guns. It's just like other classes you can pick up. But anyways, uh if I play that, it's you basically the way those games go is you like just absolutely destroy everybody except for there's a few people that you can't they're like harder to kill and those people are always like top 10. One of them is going to be like top 10 in the world. So like I've played against those guys. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's fair.
I just like, you look at how like once you get points and stuff, it's just a grind. You could get up there. So if I had to like get $1 million, let's say someone was like you're gonna win $1 million, you come first in that game. I think I could probably do it. I think I could.
If this podcast ever does well and like I have a dedicated period of time, like if I did not have a full-time job and
Yes.
we were financially set, I would 100% make a run at being a challenger in League of Legends.
That's
Really?
fair.
Yeah, 100%.
So if you could quit your job, really? Okay. Wow. So you're good at it. You're
Nope,
like good
I'm
at
not
League
good
of
at it.
Legends.
I just
That's how good you are. That's
no,
how good you are.
I'm not good at it at all.
You're at least like
I
past the beginning of the Dunning Kruger. Like you're past that. You're at that valley,
no, not
Like
at all.
you know enough that you know you're not good. So you're
So
better than
I
most.
think that there's not a formula to be good at it for sure, but I think that honestly a lot of games have this. Like there are fundamental elements or core concepts that once you master those core concepts of the game, then you are better than 98% of the people.
Yes.
And no, I am nowhere near that good at League of Legends, and that skill ceiling is ridiculous. But if I had the time to dedicate to it, I think I would do it. Basically, I
Really?
enjoy playing
That's
the game
fair.
that much.
That's
League
fair.
of Legends I have never played, but I know it's big. And I know it's like big in like Asian countries. You're gonna go against the Asians on this?
Honestly, I'm talking. No, well, you play on different servers, so I would play in the North American server, which is probably one of the easier ones out there, at least from my understanding.
True.
Yeah.
But internationally, could you become first in the world?
Absolutely
Or like make
not.
a run?
No,
No chance. Just
no
like kind of
chance, no shot.
in like North
Probably
America.
couldn't even become first in North America. Absolutely not.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
Wait, so what were you gonna go for though? You said you were gonna make
Challenger
like
is like I think the top 500 ranked in the world
oh,
or in on a server. So
okay.
that is what I would push for. But again, to my knowledge, I don't think there is a single 30-plus-year-old unless there's a full-time streamer that I'm not aware of.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
it's
like,
also
I've
it's
wanted to do that
dependent.
since I was in, like, since the game first came out. I've wanted to really dedicate the time to it, but I've never done it because there's always something else to dedicate time to.
Yeah.
We'll see what we
Well,
can do.
it's also let's see what we can do. It's also like it's the same with Call of Duty. For me, like if I had a high watermark, trying to top 250 in ranked would be
Mhm.
probably something I could do if I paid 12 hours a day, or sorry, played for 12 hours a day every day.
Mhm.
There's a potential. The problem as well is it's the time I play that also doesn't help.
Mhm.
I play at the worst time because I play at prime time when everybody plays.
Yeah. So you think the team aspect is big? Like if you have bad teammates, do you lose?
In ranked, especially, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Because like
Sorry, go ahead.
depending on your role in league, I'm pretty sure, maybe wrong. As you get higher up, it is much more team dependent. But like
Yeah.
one really good person can carry a team a very
Yes.
far way
Call of
in
Duty is
League
the
of
same.
Legends. Yeah. Okay.
In ranked and stuff, it's the same. But a lot of it is game sense more than skill.
Mm.
If you can win 90% of your one-on-one gunfights,
Mhm.
you will excel. You will do
Yeah.
very well.
So you're making decisions that
That's right.
I will go into this fight and I will
Yeah.
100, maybe
Taking
not 100%, 80% chance I will
yeah.
win this fight.
It's making
You're
smart
not,
choices
yeah,
and not putting
100%.
yourself in
Like
the
hard
open,
to do.
moving
I think I win like
in a time
20%
that
of
makes sense.
fights.
Man, the last time I played Call of Duty, I think it was a PC version, and no, it wasn't a PC version. I think they had just come out with nukes.
Ah,
That
that's a
was the last time
long,
I
like
played Call of
tactical
Duty.
nukes. That's a long time
Yeah,
ago.
like if you got 25 kills in a row, a nuke, you could get a nuke, I think it was.
Yeah.
Because I remember just playing Meat Shield for one of my friends so that he could get 25. Like, that is how we won games consistently. Like, three of us would play Meat Shield for him, and he would get 25 kills, and we would win the game.
Did you ever play Perfect Dark?
Yes, great game. That's another
Do
nostalgia
you
one.
remember the nuclear grenade in that game? You know, it was
No.
called the N. It was called the N bomb.
Nice.
Yeah,
Interesting. I
yeah,
wonder.
yeah.
Rare has
I
a
did.
very
Was
good
it?
track
You
record
think
of.
that's because at the
That was on
time
purpose.
I don't know
100%. It's a
that was
rare
on
game,
purpose.
dude. 100%.
Yeah. My
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
my
So N
number
bomb
one
back then meant the N bomb.
was the
Yes.
Actus.
I thought it was just a new thing.
Sorry, what was that, Tyler?
The Perfect Dark. I struggled to do the reverse axis. That's my core memory tied to Perfect Dark.
Inverted axis is the worst, man. I know a few
I think it
people
was
that
the
play it that
first
way.
game I played that it was inverted axis, and I was like, "What is this?"
Can't you change it though? Can't you just change it in the settings?
I don't know. I just remember, like, that is my memory with Perfect Dark, was struggling for
Struggling with it?
so
I remember
long to
how
figure out the reverse. I don't remember if I ever actually changed it or anything along those lines, but
you
I
just
remember
learned.
Well,
struggling.
It shuts
okay.
your
Have
brain
you
off.
played
It's so fucked
GoldenEye
up.
recently?
Hmm.
Because Perfect Dark was right after GoldenEye, but if you've played GoldenEye recently, the controls are really fucked up. Like they
Yeah.
I
didn't
remember they're
have it
fucked up.
figured out
You
yet.
couldn't do it.
Like
You couldn't move and
every
aim.
game back then, well, not
Uh,
every game, but like a lot of first person shoot, like early first person shooters where you had a controller, they
Mhm.
experimented a lot
yes,
with like different
Oh yeah,
ways of like
yeah, for sure.
looking
absolutely.
around and moving forward. And now it's the same because we figured out the best one.
Mhm.
Yes.
But
Wow.
yeah, GoldenEye was like the one you used to look up and look down was also the one that you used to strafe left and right. and it was just horrifying. It was like really tricky to like
Well, you
play.
didn't have any. You only had one stick then.
You did, but it
On
would still would have been
N64,
better if
you
that
only
was
had one
less
stick.
smooth and look.
Stick
Yes,
in
I
the
know.
D-pad.
Yeah,
Yep.
you had the D-pad. Well,
know.
yeah,
I know.
the yellow ones.
Well, it's the same as it's the same as we talked about earlier in the pre-show. Resident Evil 4. You know, in Resident Evil 4, you couldn't aim and move.
Did
So
you
when
actually have to stop?
you had to stop. When you hit the aim button, you stopped moving. You could not walk and aim.
I don't remember that.
That's the original,
Yeah.
back on the GameCube. You could not
Yeah.
walk. Yep. That was they cleaned that up in the remakes. But yeah. No, it's crazy, man. There's so many weird controls. Like before we cemented what a controller should feel like, it was weird.
GameCube was a great system.
It was. It was very
Great.
underrated, and it literally sits in a time when it was the last time that the Nintendo home console was the most powerful console of its generation.
It was
The
so
GameCube was
much
hands
further
down
ahead.
better
So much further
than
ahead.
everything else.
Hmm.
But
Wait,
it
sorry,
was held
thinking
back
of
by the
something else.
optical media. Their stupid little baby discs.
I was
Oh,
literally
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
of something else.
Yep.
Oh,
But yeah, on a raw horsepower like computing level, it was the last time that Nintendo was the most powerful home console.
what about the Dreamcast though?
The Dreamcast was the worst system ever.
Was it?
Yes.
It was cool. The
I don't know
concept
anything
was
about the
neat.
specs or anything along those
Because
lines, but
I
there
just
was
remember it
no
being
game
out when
availability.
like
That was the problem.
Sega used to be really fucking sick. Ahead of shit, I think. The
Oh, yeah.
Dreamcast was
Yeah.
out
Sega
when like what
Genesis
was
was
there?
great.
Just PS1 and N64? Were they
Mm,
even out when the Dreamcast came out?
No.
I remember playing
99.99, baby.
Dreamcast.
They dropped it fucking months early so they could put it out on September 9th, 1999.
Yeah, I remember playing it in a Blockbuster.
But it had no
Dreamcast.
games. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't have enough games. It was really expensive. So like only like
Yes.
nobody had it.
No.
I don't know a single person that bought a Dreamcast.
I knew
one.
one person.
Yeah.
I knew one person that had a Dreamcast.
But it looked really good. It like really looked really good for back
well,
then.
but the thing with it is I think, and I feel this is pretty safe to say, it looked good because the only games that were on it were made by Sega, so they made them look good.
Yeah, but
It's like a
even,
Nintendo
like, the
Switch.
power
Like a
of it.
Nintendo Switch is so underpowered to everything else. But you play Breath of the Wild, and yes, there's
Right.
hitches, but that
great.
game is fucking tits. It is
Mhm.
so good. And there's a
Mhm.
few other like Super Mario Odyssey, so good. Like the first party Nintendo games make the Switch look like it's really good when it's not.
Yeah.
It's slower than your cell phone.
But they know their limit and they're playing within it.
That's
Yeah,
exactly it. They know what they're doing. That's the difference. But
Basic
that's, I
video
think, the
game
same thing
design.
with Dreamcast, because the only games that were out for Dreamcast, and that this is not the literal truth, but there was like Ridge Racer, made by Sega, Virtua Fighter, made by Sega, Virtua Tennis, made by Sega. So again, that same thing. They knew how to make it work.
Mhm.
Well, it's the same as the PlayStation 3. The PS3 was far better than the Xbox 360 on a pure compute fucking level, but it was horrible to work on, which is why there was no games on it other than Sony games for years, because it was really hard for third-party companies to actually work with it because the architecture and stuff was shit.
You
Before
guys
they,
remember hearing PlayStation 2 when it came out, it could be rewired to launch missiles? Did you ever hear that?
no. I know that
Really?
PS3 was wired together. If you wired 4 of them together, where basically had the compute power of a supercomputer, and it was
That's
cheaper.
pretty cool.
So
Yeah,
I
but that's
can't
a
remember. I
supercomputer
want to say
back
it was
then. It's probably
NASA.
like a Nokia
No.
phone.
Well, yeah, but a supercomputer
Back
today
then it would've
compared to
been-
one fucking next year is might as well
So
be a
4
doorstop.
PS4s would have
So
been.
well, no, they
I don't
used
know,
so
an
they were
iPhone.
cheaper. They were cheaper to use it. So I want to say it was NASA, or it might be. It was another. It was a company like that did aerospace something, and it was actually cheaper for them. So they actually had like 100 of them or whatever. They had like farms of PS3s working in fucking unison because it was cheaper than building a supercomputer and more efficient.
That is random.
Oh,
What were they
dude,
trying
the
to
amount of
do?
random bullshit I know, it's not funny. They were
Hmm.
mapping star systems or some shit. I can't remember,
They
dude.
were playing Space
Ooh, that's
Invader.
cool.
Yeah, it was no, but literally that's what it was. Well, you can do it now. You can opt in with NASA to, if you leave your computer on and in sleep mode, they'll actually use a small percentage of your CPU power while it's sleeping to crunch numbers and do shit. It basically, they'll send you data packets and your computer will just kind of crush it in the background as it's sleeping.
Cool.
Yeah. I have to look it up now. I got to find out exactly what the PS3s were for.
Okay, have you ever heard Marilyn Manson had a rib removed so that he could suck his own
Yes, I
dick?
did hear that.
100%. Yeah.
U.S.
So
Air
I read
Force
something.
found it. U.S.
What?
Air Force connected 1,760 PlayStation 3s to build a supercomputer.
What was it used for?
Largest supercomputer in the world right now is the U.S. Air Force Research Labs. Blah 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 blah. The newest system, which is at its core made up of 1,700. This is an article from 2010, by the way.
Okay.
Is at its core is 1,760 PlayStation 3 consoles in addition to a large capacity. The so-called Condor cluster is capable of performing 500 trillion floating point operations per second, making it the fastest interactive computer in the entire U.S. Defense Department. Supercomputer, which is located in Rome, New York, is formally presented yesterday at a ribbon-cutting ceremony. It was used by the Air Force centers across the country for tasks such as radar enhancement, pattern recognition, satellite imagery processing, and artificial intelligence research. That was in
Cool.
2010.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence, 2010. That's pretty cool.
Well, I made the comment
just
the other day.
research.
We're
Yeah.
50 years ahead or behind where everything was when they were doing it. But yeah, crazy.
Don't you think it's weird? Okay, I'm changing the
Yes,
topic.
you're very
but
weird.
We can change it back. Don't you think it's weird that we all heard the same thing about Marilyn Manson taking
called-
a rib out so that he could suck his own dick?
No, we're all in about
This
the
is
same age
pre-internet.
bracket.
Pre-internet.
Wasn't
I heard about
pre-internet,
this
was
over
it?
the internet, man.
Yeah, no,
What?
that's not pre-internet.
This isn't pre-internet, dude. Yeah,
Look
but it
it up,
doesn't.
man.
But the thing too, Charlie,
There's
is
no
that
way.
it
There's
doesn't
no
have
way
to
you
be.
guys had internet. Dude,
Charlie.
that's so long ago. That had
Yeah,
to
but
be.
all it takes is one of your friends to have the internet, or one of your friends' friends. 6 degrees of separation, dude.
That's
We're all.
fair. That's fair.
It started
Okay,
in
what
the
year
late
did that start?
'90s. It started in the late '90s,
Mhm.
and
You
it
guys had
was
internet by
it.
then?
No, let me finish. Jesus Christ. I'm saying that it was before it could go viral on the internet because that wasn't a thing yet. So it passed by word of mouth. So it's
Oh, see,
literally
they didn't even say. So, okay.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm just saying that it's
When did AOL come out?
it's such an ambiguous rumor. I'm starting to feel like fucking Jamie here.
Yeah.
AOL
Just
what?
pull that up.
AOL what?
Just AOL. Like, when did
The company?
AOL
No,
start?
but
America Online.
okay.
America Online. Just AOL. Watch it.
May
Nintendo was
24th,
in like
1985. AOL was created.
Nintendo was like in the 1880s or
Yes.
something.
Mhm.
Charlie, come on. They were
I'm
a
just
toy
making
company.
sure you knew that.
Yes, I did.
There's other people
Nintendo
maybe
is one of
listening.
my favorite things in the planet.
That's
Yeah.
a bold statement.
It is. And
One of
it's
your
true.
favorite things on the planet.
It's true.
Hmm.
Like as a
Nintendo's the first
corporation.
shit I had, but I always wished I had Sega. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy now that I had
My
Nintendo,
friends had
but
Sega. I
always
went and
wanted
played it,
Sega.
and I was like, "This is bullshit." You have the blood code for Mortal Kombat. That was the only thing that I gave a fuck about
Yeah,
with
I was
Sega.
a Sega kid and thoroughly enjoyed going over to my friend's house to play their N64.
Yeah, it's fair.
Not too many of them thoroughly enjoyed coming over to my house to play Sega.
Sega was great for sports games. I will give it that.
And the
Sega was out.
Sega Game Gear
That was the
way
tits.
better than the Game Boy.
I had a Game Gear,
way better than Game Boy.
but the
It was
game
color.
sucked. But the game sucked.
Sonic was
Comparatively.
good, but yes, yeah.
Bro, there's nothing you can say. Game Boy has one of the greatest game franchises of all time. Full stop.
But it looked like shit. The first
But
Game Boy,
it
it
don't
was the green
matter.
screen. If
You don't.
angled
It
on, you
doesn't
couldn't see it.
matter.
I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I'm just saying the Game Gear.
If a game sucks because it's not fun to play but looks good, it still sucks.
Right.
And
I
not
agree
a
with
single
that.
thing on the Game Gear came close. even
That's true.
fucking close. And I will say
That's
this:
true.
Game Boy had Tetris. Game Gear had Columns. Columns was color and pretty. Tetris is way the fuck better than Columns ever was. Way better. And Game Boy has one of the greatest games that's ever been released in Pokemon. And Game Gear had nothing to come fucking close to it. That's
Wait, did
not.
Game Gear have Could you play
Yes.
Mortal Kombat?
Yes, I
in
had Game Gear on
Yeah.
my Mortal Kombat with the blood code.
Yeah.
My mom
Freaking-
lost her fucking mind when I got the blood
Ooh.
code. It's great.
The blood code. Oh, fucking codes.
Yeah, you used to have to put a code in to get blood.
Cheat codes and shit.
I'm just curious. Is there
Yeah.
any cheat code that is like ingrained in your head?
Up, down, left, right, A, B, A, select, start. Konami code, bitch.
I wouldn't have been able to recite
up,
that,
up,
but
down,
as soon
down.
as you said it, yeah.
It's the
I know that
Konami
one.
code, man. Well, if you've ever played Contra, you fucking learn the Konami code real quick. Because Contra is fucking impossible.
I don't remember what it does, but R2, R2, L1, R2, left down, right up from GTA 3. I don't remember
can't
what it
remember.
does.
I think it's
If
probably
you
like
do know-
invincibility. If
If
you
you know
remember
what
it,
it
it's
is in
probably
the
all
comments,
guns.
put it
Yeah,
down
down
there,
below.
because I want to know.
Down
but
below.
like, yeah,
I bet you it's invincibility or all guns. One of
it's
those.
either
Well, it's
all
also-
guns. I vividly remember flying around in the tank.
Maybe.
There was infinite ammo,
Mhm.
and then I never used invincibility. It might have been invincibility, but
I can't.
once you had infinite ammo and all guns, you didn't really
You're
need
invincible anyway.
invincibility.
Well, it's
That's
also
true.
funny because I'm thinking of the Doom codes. Like, I can't remember now. What
Could
was
have been get rid of all your
IDKFA? I can't remember what that one did, but that was one of the codes. Now, what I do want to ask, though, is do you think that the nostalgia that you had to older games when you were a kid, do you think like that gave you that like lifelong urge to build and do adventures or whatever the
No.
case may be?
So like the games that I played when I was a kid and like the games that I am most nostalgic about are triggered to like or tied, I guess, to specific eras in my life and playing with my brother, playing with specific friends, like friend groups, like that kind of thing. And I am very consciously aware that those memories cloud the actual experience of the game and like how good the game it was.
That's fair.
Like I guarantee you, if I went back and played some of those games, I might not enjoy them as much. Like I am filtering out the flaws in the game in my mind.
Yes. That's
So no, I'm not going to play a remake of them. And I'm probably like there are specific ones that I would hesitate to even pick up and play again because I
That's
feel
fair.
like it could.
You don't want to ruin it.
Exactly.
There's
it would-
one-
It could tamper those
But
memories. Ruin those
that's the
memories.
There's
nostalgia
one
test.
game, but there's one.
That's the test.
There's one set of remakes that I will say, and now I didn't have the most nostalgic feels for these games, but I really did like them a lot.
Mhm.
And the one games company that I will give all the credit in the world to is Capcom.
Mhm.
Because their remakes of Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, like the new ones that they put out now, they hit the mark so well that when you play it and you get to those big moments in like Resident Evil 2 or that big moment in Resident Evil 3, they remade the game so well that it feels like I'm 15 or whatever, however the hell old I was when it came out. I'm playing the remake and getting the same and that nostalgia feeling of like this is what the game was like in my mind when I played it 20 fucking years ago. And they
that's
nailed
actually
it.
like,
They
"Holy
nailed it.
shit."
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
It
Iron
feels
for a while,
like it
"Holy
did.
shit."
It feels like, and then obviously I'm not a game developer and I have zero talent for this shit, but it has that feel of like in my mind when I played, especially Resident Evil 2, when I played that remake, I literally went, holy shit, this feels exactly like my mind says it felt like when I was a kid. And I know it doesn't feel like that because I
Feels like
have
you were
went back
literally
and played
reliving
them.
it.
But yeah, it felt so good that it was like, oh my God. I remember when this was like, in my mind, the greatest looking game that's ever fucking made at the time.
Resident Evil 2, man. So I
So
had an
good.
N64, and my mom bought me Resident Evil 2 for Christmas,
The shitty version.
and she what?
You got the shitty version.
Oh, fuck off. Okay, so
I'm with Charlie on
I'm
this one.
supposed to tell my mom, oh, I got to get a PlayStation 2, mom.
Really? You think it was better on fucking N64?
No, but I played it on N64 first
Okay,
because
okay.
my friend had an N64
Gotcha.
and he had
Got you,
Resident
got you,
Evil
got you.
2. Like I
Gotcha.
have
I played the
very vivid memories of terror playing that game in my buddy's
Yes.
attic.
Yes. Dude, I see the thing for me is I was a PlayStation kid, so I didn't
Mm.
have so I had every Nintendo console except the N64. That's literally like a blind spot for me. I had friends that had it, so I've played the big hitters, like I played Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I've played like the big games through the time on the N64,
Mhm.
but I have not played. But like my memories of Resident Evil and stuff were PS1 original or Resident Evil
Yeah,
2. Like so I have the PS1 memories of all of those things.
see, like owning them myself, we were also a PS family until Halo came out, and then we went hard into Xbox.
Smart
Um,
people get it.
but like we had Sega, but most of my friends had N64s, so like
Mm,
all of my shared experiences, which like video games were much more of a LAN, a co-op, a community kind of thing. Like you
hmm.
would have 5 kids sitting around an N64 passing the
Yes.
controller back and forth, or swapping out
Hmm,
if you
hmm.
would play 4 people in Super Smash Bros. Or something like that and swap out when one person died. Like that was a lot more common. More like video
Couch
games
co-op,
now
buddy.
are much more of a solo experience for me um,
Agreed. Well,
than
minus the
they
Call of
used to
Duty,
be
but yeah.
back then. Yeah, but still, like you are playing with people for sure, but playing with people online is and always will be very different than playing with
Sitting
your
on the
friends,
couch.
like
Yeah.
sitting on the couch. Like your buddy leans over to you as you're cornering,
Covers your
or
eyes or shit. Yeah, yeah.
you have that one friend that gets violent every time he loses. Like we all have these stories from childhood, whereas
Yes.
like I don't necessarily
One
think
of
that's the case with the current generation, at least.
for sure.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia, man.
Okay,
Well,
Charlie, what were you talking about? Nostalgia test when I was
Oh,
talking
the
about not
nostalgia
being willing
test.
to play old games.
No, the nostalgia test is when you have you remember something as being good, and then you
Mhm.
do that thing again, and if it's still good, then it passes the nostalgia test. My best example is Waterworld. I'm pretty sure if I watch Waterworld again, it's not going to be as good as when I saw it when I was like 9.
well,
Yeah,
I hate
man.
to be the one to break it to you, but Waterworld was never good.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
But
The movie was
you were older and
horrible.
more mature when I was
Horrid.
9. I remember it being
Yes, that's
amazing.
fair.
Okay, hot take. Does Jaws fail the nostalgia test?
No,
No,
Jaws passes the
no.
nostalgia test for
fuck
you
yeah,
Yeah,
guys.
that
for
movie's great.
sure. For sure.
Okay.
It gets better because the guy is like,
So,
just like all the stuff gets better. Like
The
all the
Exorcist.
deaths. I haven't
Exorcist is phenomenal.
Yeah.
One of the
Okay.
greatest
I haven't
movies
seen
ever
it.
made, singularly. Like
I
in
haven't
that
seen it
genre,
again.
like the horror movie, dude, it's so good, so fucking good.
I'm trying
I
to
haven't
think of
seen
one
it
that would
again.
like definitely fail.
Jaws passes the nostalgia test because completely and utterly does the shark in Jaws pass? No, it's fucking dog shit. But the things about that movie that make that movie great weren't the shark.
Hmm.
The story about the sinking of the Indianapolis, that was like those moments, like that shit. Like we're gonna need a bigger boat. Like those lines, those things are what made the movie good. What made Spielberg a genius in that movie is that the shark was only in it for like 30 fucking seconds. It's something. It's
Hmm.
very small. It's like under 2 minutes or some shit. Like it's a very short actual amount of time that you actually see the shark. If you saw
Yeah.
the shark the whole movie, it would suck because
Well, yeah,
you couldn't
it's
get
the
past that.
potential of the shark that is
That's right. And that's what made
the
everybody
looming
afraid to
threat.
go.
Yeah,
That's right. But
yeah.
that's what made it great.
Mhm.
It's the same thing with video games. So, that being said, guys, what are, in rapid fire format, what are your top 5 nostalgia games of all time? Not best games you played, not your top 5 games of all time, but the top 5 nostalgia games. Rattle them off really fast, and then you can go back and explain each game in a little more in depth after.
I think I got 5 that I could name
Go for
off.
it. Now, go! Charlie!
So I think GoldenEye,
Mm hmm.
Ocarina of Time, like Zelda,
Mm hmm.
Mhm.
Tony Hawk,
Mm hmm.
it's Pro Skater.
The
That's
first one.
definitely nostalgic. Yeah. And then probably Super Mario, but I don't know, maybe Super Mario World, because that was the one that I kind of spent the most time on.
Mm hmm. Mm hmm.
Yeah, and then I guess I need one more. Maybe like old Nazi zombies. Like if I were to play
Nice.
Modern Warfare 2 Nazi zombies, I'd
Mm-hmm.
probably like get nostalgic. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And it would, I think all those pass the test too, because I've played all of those since, and they all passed it. They're still all good, all of them.
Trying to think of a fifth one.
Well,
Yeah, I
I
had
can go
trouble
for it
thinking
if you
of a
want.
fifth. All right,
Uh,
5.
yeah, give her.
Okay.
You go.
So my first one's gonna be a cheating one. It's the NES double pack-in of Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. So
Sure.
good. So good.
Mm.
All right. Does that
Second on the
two? That's
list,
two.
that's one.
What?
That's a cheat. I said a cheating.
Okay.
Second
Okay.
is Pokemon Red.
Yeah.
Third is Final Fantasy VII. Fourth is Halo 3. And I would say the fifth one is probably going to be Call of Duty Black Ops 2. That was the best
Nice.
multiplayer one.
I want to know Tyler's.
I'm thinking hard. Number 1, Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Yes!
These are not necessarily in order. Number 2, Ape Escape. Number 3, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Number 4, I'm probably going to go with StarCraft. And then number 5, Super Smash Bros.
Nice. All solid list, dude. Solid
I
list.
wish I said Smash.
I would have
wish I
actually
said Smash
changed Call of
Brothers.
Duty if I
That's-
were to have it to go back.
That is a really hard exercise. Just saying.
It is.
Like,
It is. I know.
Five is a lot.
It
I
is.
left. No, I left.
No,
out
it's
many,
not. There's a
many
lot more.
games.
If I'm honest, man, there's 2 games on the list that I would probably, well, not on the list, but there's like Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is a banger, but I would probably say Rainbow Six Vegas 2
I could
or
have included
Gears.
Counter Strike.
Mm-hmm.
Could have included Gears of War.
Yeah, Gears of War is a big one.
Could have included Running Wild. I don't know if you ever played that game. Running Wild for, I think it was
No.
PS1.
I don't think
You're
so.
basically like an animal and you run through. Great. Crash Team Racing. Like there's tons.
Oh yeah, there's
of,
so
like,
many.
you could just like.
So the games that you did pick, quick aside, a quick story behind them. What was it about them that made them
I want to change mine.
can't
No
too late?
'Cause
No
I feel like I
You're
didn't pick
locked in.
Wolfenstein,
No,
and I
too late,
didn't
man.
pick like Duke
How does it-
Nukem.
Doom,
Like those are more nostalgic.
Diablo 2. Holy shit!
See,
Oh,
like
God.
I noticed your guys'
Duck Hunt,
lists
buddy.
versus mine. Mine is more so in the same era of time.
Yeah,
Mine are a
I
little over the
noticed.
place.
Yours are kind of
Yours are-
PS2-ish and 64.
Mine are PS1 and 64, creeping
yeah.
into computers getting a little bit better kind of thing, whereas your guys are a lot more nostalgic for a specific era of time
Mhm.
than you guys. Like your
Oh, totally. Yeah, if the first game you played, you were like 1 years old, you're not gonna like, long
Mhm.
for that. But yeah, it's like the best times of your life when you played those.
Well, it's the formative years, man. It's the GoldenEye, the memories of GoldenEye, the memories of playing fucking Vegas and being that cocky little shit kid that
And time moves slow when
killed
at that
everybody.
age.
When you're young,
12
it does.
12 to 15 is like feels like doesn't feel like 3 years. Feels like
20.
fucking long time. Yeah.
I know. It's crazy.
A lot of those games are pre 12 to 15 for me.
What's the earliest game you played or earliest thing you had that was gaming like system or whatever? Like what's the first shit you ever played?
The first thing I remember playing,
Yeah.
Putt Putt Goes to the Moon.
What was
But
that for?
I'm pretty sure it was a 3.5-inch floppy disk.
Dude, my earliest memory of playing video games, especially like at home, was playing Atari 2600.
Hmm.
That shit's came out in the 70s, dog. Like,
See, like when I
think
was in
probably
high
the
school, I
oldest
went
that I
through
have.
a throwback phase. Like my brother and I went out and bought a bunch of the old systems, or got a bunch of the old systems from our friends, and like we revisited N64, we revisited Super
That's awesome.
Nintendo. Like,
that's great.
So I was substantially older when I went back and played all of those games. Like I have an Atari in my attic upstairs.
Okay, he does. The same thing like the day the Switch came out. I remember walking in, it was the first time in my life picking the console up on the launch day and actually putting in Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's the only game I had for the fucking thing the day it came out, and it's the only game I needed because I ended up spending hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best. Like, I would say, hot take, the best Zelda game ever made. I haven't played a game like it ever before or since. Is that it literally made me feel like a kid. And playing that game, I had the same sense of wonder that I remember having, that made me fall in love with playing video games in the first place.
Well, I don't know. That last thing you said made me think about wanting to play video games again. Because I was thinking about that the other day. Like, even just now when you were talking about Resident Evil 2, because I remember like you were talking about how like the buildup of it, like all the
Mhm.
buildups are like the same, like you get invested in the same way. Like they did a really good
Yep.
way of like not screwing up the way they delivered the story.
Yes.
Mhm.
But yeah, I haven't like had a game like that where I've been like
Glued to the edge of
kind of
your seat.
felt like it was felt I was like being introduced to a new world and was really immersed in it, like with the way I used to remember being in
Yeah.
like specifically Resident Evil 2, even because Resident Evil 2, I was really into that game, like the whole story, everything. I
Mhm.
remember I was gonna say earlier, my mom, when she bought it for me for Christmas, it was in like this. Basically, I could get to where it was before Christmas. So I used to come home every day and like go in and take the game. She hadn't wrapped it yet, but I knew where she hid it. And I would like read the manual because the manual had like all the character,
Bios.
descriptions. It had all the
Yeah.
bios, all the
Yeah.
guns, all the monsters, and I was just like, I could have recited it. Resident Evil 2, man, I was like, that was probably the first game where I was like, a whole new world was being
Mhm.
opened to me. I was like, oh, and I was, yeah, fucking that game, man.
One more question, and then
Yeah.
we should probably wrap it up. We've been going for a while.
Over 2
Do you
hours.
think do you think millennials are the most nostalgic generation? Because I don't think we are.
Wait, the
No.
most nostalgic?
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean the most nostalgic?
Do you think that millennials long for a simpler time more so than any other generation?
No, no, no. Everyone's got this. No shit that's going on like now and like a little bit ago is just going to be nostalgia for the next generation.
Mhm.
Everyone's got the same amount of nostalgia because you learn the
Mm-mm.
same concepts
I don't know
growing
about
up.
that. I don't
I
know
don't
about
agree
that.
at
What do you
all.
mean? No, you can't say that. You can't
Yep.
say that.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't say I have more nostalgia than somebody
No.
else.
No.
I would
We
say
have less
generation
nostalgia.
directly after us, which
That's not
is
true.
what, Gen Z,
Yeah.
Gen
That's not
Z,
true
I
because
guess you should call them.
when you grow up, you learn about concepts like good storytelling and maybe even certain like social situations you might learn from watching a movie. I'm
Mhm.
not saying you learn from watching
Mm-hmm.
movies and consuming
Mm-hmm.
media, but you learn certain things. It's
Yeah.
possible. And that might be introduced to you by whatever media you're consuming at that time. So everything it's like a constant stream of nostalgia. Like
No, 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 no.
all of everything could basically be nostalgia to somebody.
Yes, I agree 100%. For myself personally, I mean, my where I grew up, I look at the old timey people like my grandparents and their generation
Yeah.
would have thrown all of the shit they have away to go back in time fucking 50 years. We would not do that now. You say you would, and to you to go back to a simpler time, but you wouldn't because now you don't have the internet anymore. You don't have your phone. You don't have this, that, the other thing. It's a very, very finite amount of people that would actually want to go back from our generation and especially newer that would want to
Mhm.
go back in time.
But it's yeah, that's a good point though, because it's also a lot different for them, way different.
Well, the
For us,
other,
it's similar, but it just got better.
I look at my life and go, okay, we came around pre-internet, but it was there pretty early.
It was. I think if we go back, it's like a downgrade. If they
Yes.
go back, it's a different world. That's why the nostalgia pull is bigger for them. It's a
I-
lot different.
I think that Gen Z is probably the most nostalgic because if they go back, things actually get better.